All right, so let's take a look at the last two, 17 and 18. This one says find the sum of the infinite geometric series. So just find the sum of them. All right, so we have this sequence. Ooh, there we go. And again, those are not y's. That's 1 over 3 and 1 over 9. For those that need to see it over again. That's 1 over 3 and 1 over 9. All right, so looking at that one, these are not finite ones. These are not, it doesn't have a very end here. It's not finite. It means it's infinite, which means we have to use our infinite series formulas to help us out with this. So we know that formula is A1 over 1 minus R. And we know the absolute value of R has to be less than 1. So the absolute value of R is not less than 1. We can't do these problems. So make sure you listen to that and understand. If it is not less than 1, you cannot do these problems. So let's first off find out what is their common ratio. So here, let's not do R. Let's just do A2 divided by A1. So here we have 1/3 divided by 1. Again, keep, change, flip, which 1 flips to be just 1 again. So we get 1/3. Then we try the next one, A3 divided by A2, to make sure that we get 1/3 again. So again, keep, change, flip. I guess it's a 3 there. Or if you multiply straight across, it gives you 3 over 9, which is 1/3. So if you multiply straight across, that was 3 over 9, which still reduces down to 1/3. All right, so our common ratio is 1/3. Is 1/3 less than 1? Yes, it is. So that means we can keep working on this and we can do it. So here, and let's see, 1/3 is less than 1, so we're good. We're good. All right, so we put 1 on top. That's our A1. That's our first term in the sequence. Minus, the 1/3. At this point, you can put that directly in the calculator, or you can do work. If you put it directly in the calculator, you'll get an answer really quickly. If you don't put in the calculator, you can do some work. So here we know to have a common denominator between those two, it has to be 3 over 3. So that gives us 1 over 2/3. And then we keep, change, flip. Keep the 1, change multiplication, and we flip that 3 over 2. So our final answer is just 3 over 2. That's our sum. And that's it. That's all you got to do. 3 over 2. All right, then 18 works the same way. 18 works the exact same way. You figure out what your common ratio is. If it is less than 1, then we keep move on. If it's not less than 1, we have to stop. All right, so we have all that. Adjust. There we go. Again, we do A2 divided by A1. So this is a negative 1/3. And the only time that you really need to do a keep, change, flip is if there's like a fraction on either one of these. If they're both whole numbers, you don't have to do keep, change, flip. You stay with what's there. If they're both whole numbers, you keep it. If there's a fraction somewhere, that's when you do keep, change, flip. So don't do too much work, because everybody seems to want to do keep, change, flip for everything. So don't do that. All right, so do A3 divided by A1, and that -1 is with, that negative is with the 1. So if you wanted to rewrite this really quickly, because I didn't think about that until now. So you can do that if you want to for the sequence. Sorry, the series, my fault. So we did keep, change, flip for this one. And if you flip -1, if it still stays -1, because 1 flipped is still 1. And again, that gives us a -1/3. So we said the absolute value of that number has to be less than 1. And the absolute value of negative 1/3 is positive 1/3. And that is good. It's good. Sorry. It is good. Alright, so now we can go ahead and put it into our actual answer. Formula, sorry. Infinite series formula. Right, so A1 is 3. 1 minus a negative 1/3. So we have two negatives there again. When we have two negatives, remember that becomes a big plus. And then again, we get the common denominators, or you can put that directly and calculate that. But doing common denominators, we get 3/3 plus 1/3. So we get 3/4/3. We keep change flip. So we kept the numerator, changed its multiplication, and we flipped this one. So keep, change, flip, and we get 9/4. And that's our final answer. Alright, again, your final on the test, you will have multiple choice for every question. Just make sure you can actually find the answer for it. And use your skills for multiple choice tests. So nobody should be failing this. And again, with it being multiple choice, every question should be answered. Alright, so I'll see you in class.